for a country this large and for such huge demand, it's actually a big problem that we have. And tendency also is also, I mean, startups now are a big fashion, but some of these are difficult things to do, right? People, the young engineers coming out are not really interested in some of these things because the media tends to give a disproportionate coverage, and rightly so, for, to e-commerce startups. Worldwide, we are actually known to be one of the most innovative, 60 most innovative companies in the world for the last year. So in some sense, we've got a lot of critical acclaim. We got a lot of innovation awards where we competed against the likes of Dolby, where we won the TV Innovation Award, and larger companies like Qualcomm and Broadcom who are like big giants. One interesting story I'll tell you. When we started off here, most private ventures actually said that there's no way you can build a. Before I think Hemant came to India, 2006 or 2007. They said that it's impossible to build a semiconductor company in India because this is a valley story. There's no way you can even build the technology. So we built the technology. We built it out of our own angel money, and those days we didn't have the angel network around yet. So we still have our own private angel network, which is not very publicized, that actually helped us fund this venture. In fact, a typical semiconductor venture takes about, in the US, takes about $100 million before it actually can really start generating revenues. In India, it's about 10-15 million. But what happens is the first 5-6 million, you don't even get customers, right? You just spend all the money into R&D. So unlike e-commerce ventures, where you could potentially have millions of customers paying you small sums of money. In this space, you typically have 5 or 6 large companies who form your, and selling into them is actually very difficult. Also, we have we have about 27 international patents on the technology, mostly US, some of them Europe. So it is indeed possible to build such R&D heavy companies out of India and show it working. Next slide, please. This is just a snapshot of our products that we have built. We work in an area called software-defined radios, which is the holy grail for the next generation networks. So the next generation technologies, that is 5G or any wireless technology, we already have the necessary technology in India. So on a competitive scale, we've got probably the lowest power DSP, digital signal processor in the industry. That's also one of our claim to fame. A software-defined radio by its nature actually is able to support a wide variety of receivers, communication receivers, from TV broadcast receivers to 4G receivers, dongles, to mobile phone receivers, to satellite receivers. So our chipsets now are being used in a wide variety of applications, from satellite receivers worldwide to terrestrial modems to military receivers, and also handled TV handled dongles. So interestingly, we are probably one of the only companies from India that actually sells to Chinese, Taiwanese, and the Israeli guys, selling technologies. Next slide. The benefits of the software-defined radio, I think, like I've already mentioned, there's huge opportunity for us in India, especially in terms of the military technology. We already have a lot of interactions now going on with the MOD and with also the large DPSUs in India, with BL, the DRDO, Anurag, Hyderabad, and a lot of other big companies like ISRO as well. So they have been used to getting technology from the US or mostly from Israel, and now they are also now keen to work with us to actually start building products for the Indian military using our chipsets. Next slide. This is just a brief things about our products. One of our products that we have built using our chipsets is can be used for the last mile access in digital India, for the TV white space product. So the TV white space or the super Wi-Fi as it's called is actually a good way for India to enter the telecom world, because all the technology that's built worldwide is pushed in India, either through Indian companies or through a lot of Indian people working in MNCs. And the advantage, like some people spoke about, is it's got extremely low power consumption and can be powered off solar panels. Okay. Next one, please. Just skip these two slides. Skip this one as well. Yeah, this is another satellite. GSAT-6 has just been launched last week, right? So we've actually, before the satellite was launched, we've actually built a product with ISRO that will be used for emergency warning systems of fishermen, and also as handheld satellite receivers that can be used on tablets. Next one. This is the whole slew of products that we have built using our chipsets. Like I said, it's been a wide range of receivers. Last one. Interestingly, one of the problems that we face in India is also the fact that people don't believe that it's possible to build technology in India. Right? This is a case in point. We actually applied for a DITI subsidy scheme for reimbursing this patent. The DITI committee felt that this is too fundamental and cannot be done out of India. I mean, that's the message that they were trying to see. So we first have to have belief that it is possible, and then it will come in through. This is a 5G technology that marries big data, cognitive radio, and machine learning to building and deploying networks. This is still about 5-6 years away, but we have the essential patents out of here. Like Hemant was saying, we need to nurture such ideas and actually take them out to the field through large operators. In fact, today we can't approach operators in India. We approach AT&T and Verizon for ideas like this because they have a separate innovation lab, and then they are open to listening to such ideas. Next one, please. So what's the expectation from, just to summarize, what's the expectation of policy makers? Apart from financial support, I think we also need some business. Just to remind the audience of a tale of two companies, that this is something that Professor Parag of Stanford mentioned in a talk some time back. Huawei and Midas Technology started off in early 90s. Midas had, out of IIT Madras, they had a technology wireless local loop that actually could revolutionize industry. Today, nobody knows about Midas. Huawei is a $23 billion company. How is it? I mean, the Chinese government just gave them an order and said, just go do it. So a lot of times when we compete with Chinese, maybe it's not as simple as that, but that's what we get to hear. When we actually compete with Chinese companies, we actually are not competing with the Chinese companies, but with the Chinese government, because they got this whole, subsidies and the entire machinery helping them. So that's one of the issues. That's why you'll find a lot of Chinese substandard companies who started much later than us have actually a $500 million business today. That's because they have a local ecosystem. It is more important also to build a local ecosystem around through operators or through larger companies and system integrators like Tata's and L&T's, and then feed off high-tech companies like us. I think the MOD is already doing it. MOD is doing having a make policy where every year 10% of their expenditure has to come from indigenous companies. And one of the other problems that you have is classic L1. So I know it's a difficult problem, but more often than not, it's better to create a pool of companies like TCOE is doing, and then give them businesses, and over a period of time change this L1 culture, because L1 culture is endemic to R&D. A lot of times you don't just get business because of that. Last one, please. And one other important thing is we are now, because of Digital India, we have a chance to really build the telecom semiconductors and telecom products company now from India, and even position it in countries like Africa and continents like South America, because we have the local volume here, and electronics is all about volume. So if we get regulations in place to help TV white space as a last mile access, one of the last mile access technologies for Digital India, we could actually use this we could position this as a technology leadership theme that the Prime Minister is talking about, and push it in, like I said, in Africa and South America. That's it. Thanks.